Hi, this is Dubiss Forex Academy. Welcome to our weekly analysis. Today, 18th of September 2023. I'm excited as always to show us how the market performed over the last 1 week and also what we're expecting in the markets this week. I mean global financial markets. Alright, if this is your first time of joining our analysis, please subscribe to this channel, Dubiss Forex Academy. Ensure you turn on the notification button. Please, let's have your comment, let's have your feedback at the comment section. Alright, so as usual, we're going to start with XAU USD, which is gold. But before that, if you don't have an account with FBS, please do well to register with our link. Just check the description on this video and register with our broker FBS. And one of the advantages of registering with FBS and trading with FBS is that they have what we call swap free accounts. Low spread, even no spread account. I mean no spread, and then they have swap free accounts. So no matter how many days your trade stays, they are not going to charge you money for staying overnight. That's the meaning of swap free. You don't pay for swap. All right. So register with our broker FBS, and then let's trade and make money together in the global financial market. So let's start with gold XAU USD. Last week I told you that gold for me is turning bullish, and I told you that this trade that is going down, as at this where we are last week, that the highest it could get to is around 1885 zone, but most likely it may not touch there. And I told you that I'm not going to sell gold, that we'll look for opportunities to buy gold, that we should buy gold, that this is where we're expecting gold to get to, and that's to give us what we call XABCD pattern. So at the moment, you can see that gold plays well as analyzed, and we started buying gold, though at a point it was getting down almost 1901. From 1901 it started going up, and our stop loss was actually 1900, and that was our FX entry points. Assuming that at this point 1900 was broken, would have taken another entry point around between 1885 1890, but thank God it didn't break our first entry. And you can see, measuring from 1901 or 1905 where we entered, from this point and up to this point, that's over 270 pips made from gold. Congratulations to all those that took that trade. So this week under review, I'm still expecting gold to go higher. Please, I will tell you, if you want to sell gold, let's just be on a short-term basis, because gold is on a very high. It's going to break this high. Let me draw it and tell you so that you know when it breaks it, we'll come back and see it. You see this high here? Let me drop it. Let me highlight this high. You see this particular point? Gold will most likely break here, even though this is like a resistance where it's going to this move that is moving right now, and then it's going to, once here is broken, this particular place is broken, where we are. This is where we are right now. Once this structure is broken, then expect more upward move to this particular structure. Let's get the price so that you know exactly the price we are talking about. So that's around 1950. All right, once 1950 resistance is broken, then gold will be on its way even up to this new high here. All right, so this is where gold will most likely be landing up to this point. This is where it will be landing. So if you want to let's remove this. All right, so this is where we're anticipating that gold could get to. So let's see how many pips we are still expecting gold to move. All right, over 400 pips more. So these upward moves, we should still be expecting over 400 pips more upward move for gold. So trade with care. All right, anytime you see a retracement from this structure, if market just move down, please guys, take a new entry and then move. Let's buy gold, and like I said, we should be expecting gold to get to around, this is 1980, around 1980 stroke close to 2000. that's where we will target our gold buy. So for now, trade with care. Let's see what will happen, but our bias is that gold will move higher and even up to going back to retest 2000 level. So let's go to GBUSD. For GBUSD, I told you that where GBUSD is sitting on a strong zone, right? And I said once here is broken and retested, then that's to say this pair will get down back to this zone here. But where price is now 1.23, let's say 1.2400, around 1.2400 area. So we want to see what will happen here. But for me, this pair is on its way. For me, it's going to go up. My bias is for an upward move for GBUSD. Alright, so but we need to wait and really see. You can take the entry points, like I said, you can take entry points and put your stop loss below this structure here. So below here should be your stop loss. Around this zone should be your stop loss. So you can take your entry point around here for a buy. But if this trade eventually break this structure and then get down and hit this stop loss, then you need to now look for opportunity to sell, because that means that the market will go down and up to this zone over here. So right now, let's buy GBUSD. Last week, the trade we entered last week is still running on loss. It's still around entry points, right? So it's still a valid entry. For those that have seen this video for today, you can still buy GBUSD. So let's extend this, because we still believe that this pair will move higher. All right, let's extend this structure. This is the zone we are talking about, and as far as this zone is still holding for GBUSD, then it's a buy trade. For EUR/USD is still sitting exactly at the entry point. I told you last week that price could get down to this structure. From here we buy. So last week we were waiting for price to touch here, and price have touched here. So it's an entry point. If you're seeing this video and price is still within here, this circle here, so just take your trade as we are buying EUR/USD, and the first place you can target should be around here. If you use your Fibonacci, so that we know exactly where we are targeting to exit from this high to this low, you can see this place now is around 61.8, right? So you can take your first TP at 38.2 and then 61.8. So reducing this is 38.2 and this is 61.8. all right, so these are buyers for EUR/USD. So it's a buy trade. You can take your entry points today. All right, as far as prices around this zone, please buy EUR/USD, and these are the targets. AUD/USD, nothing changed. It's still the same. We are still to buy AUD/USD until price move. So price is still moving slowly, and our entry point is here. We are still on profit. Right, last week I told you that price could retest it, which it did. Look at the candle that retested it, and right now it's going up. So it's a buy trade. We are still on the buy for GBP, for AUD/USD. Same thing with NZD/USD. NZD/USD, we told you that we are buying NZD/USD from this zone, and this is where we are targeting even 38.2. So it still remains the same. I told you that and I'm going to leave the analysis the way we analyze it for us to see how the market plays out. All right, so market have not moved great deal since last week. There's no good opportunity as a new entry point. It's still the same thing. That's why I've not been able to send a lot of signals. Even last week we didn't even send whether it's one or two signals, because market is just moving slowly. As at today, Monday, today is public holidays for some places. I'm going to share the fundamentals, the calendar for you to see. So markets is just very slow. All right, the pairs are just moving slowly, so there's no much volatility. But I know that this week there's going to be some volatility, because there are a lot of fundamentals, a lot of red folders, a lot of news, interest rates, and also this week is also, in fact, when we get to the fundamental, I will share with you so that we'll see. Let's go to USD CAD. USD CAD played exactly as analyzed. For the last 2 weeks, we have been selling USD CAD, and I told you last week that the bias is still the same until it gets to 38.2. So very good. Today, eventually, it touched 38.2. So our TP1, let's measure and tell you, show you. You know, when we do this analysis, we tell you to follow our analysis. Look at it. This 200, over 200 pips are TP1. I mean, for this analysis. Of course, the one we send on the group, our TPs are 50 pips. And if you watch that, you see that we already made like 200 pips, which is TP4. And for this analysis, for the purpose of this analysis, I told you that your first target should be 38.2, but you need to move your stop loss to entry point once it start moving. You can see that immediately it started moving, it has never gone back to retest here. It has been going down, and it has hit our first target, which is over 200 pips. Second target is 50.0, and then final target is 61.8. So we still leave it like this. All right, this week you could try to retrace a little, but the market will continue to trend down up to 50.0 and 61.8. This is our final target, 61.8. Congratulations to all those that took this trade USD CAD. Right, USD CHF. For USD CHF, last week I told you that we'll look for opportunity to buy instead of to sell instead of buying, because we believe that, look at the zone. Let me highlight it so that we know the zone. This is the zone. This is the zone I was telling you about. Right, so now that it has really touched this zone, so we should be expecting a correction, this kind of movement for USD CHF. So our bias is still the same. We know we're buying USD CHF, so we have taken all the profits, and finally our buyers have shifted from this buy to sell. So at this point now, we should look for opportunity to sell USD CHF. That is it. That's our bias for this week. For USD, for GBP CHF, I told you last week that price will get down to retest here. From here, we'll buy again. Look at it. It has retested, and today is buying. So you can take your entry point for a buy for GBP CHF. For us, this particular channel we have identified, you can see that this is a zone from this up to this point. These are zones. We told you that as far as this zone is playing out, you can be trading in this particular. Look at it. Once you get to this point, we'll sell. Once you get to this point, we'll buy. At the moment now is a buy trade, and want to buy up to this point. All right. Okay. So let's go to GBP JPY. For GBP JPY, I told you that on a longer time for GBP JPY, I'm seeing this pair going up, even up to this particular structure here. So GBP JPY is bullish for me, but at this moment, what the market have done so far, we need to look for opportunity to sell, and that's what I told you, because it have hit this zone here, and this is a monthly time frame. By the time you go down to weekly and you see what is happening weekly, is respecting this zone. You go to daily, you see that it's respecting here. So we sold JPY, and look at how many pips that it has made since we started starting from this point. This is over 350 pips, right? So at the moment, I don't want to trade GBP JPY. I'm out of the sell, because on a longer time, I'm seeing GBP JPY to move as high as this point and this point. So that's why I'm out of the trade. All right. So let's see what will happen. But for now, there is no entry point for GBP JPY for me. For CHF JPY, the same thing for CHF JPY. We're saying that on daily time frame, as far as this zone is being respected, that this pair supposed to have retraced 38.2, 50.0, and 61.8. All right, so we are still on the trade, but you need to move your stop loss, because same thing as I tell you, this place could actually be broken. If this place is broken, then there will be more movement up. All right, CHF JPY have hit all-time high for a long period of time. Look at if you shrink this and you see that, you can see that it has been long that this pair touched this kind of zone. That's why I was expecting a good retracement, and it has not happened. So for now, we have to trade with care, believing that this particular structure here will be respected for price to move down. So Euro JPY is same scenario. Everything has to do with JPY. If there is maybe if the BOJ try to intervene once again to help Japanese yen, then that's when we'll see a massive retracement for JPY, as we will see this pair moving down, which is Euro JPY. Same thing with GBP JPY and CHF JPY. In fact, all the JPY pairs. So trade with care, but our buyer still remain the same. You can see what we highlighted before. It still remains the same on daily time frame. It actually hits 38.2, which is our TP1. We are out of this trade, trying to see if it will retrace. We get another entry point to get to 61.8. We are still believing that the trade should touch 61.8 before further move upwards. So for Euro GBP last week we sold, all right, and we made some good pips, and you can see that right now, look at it, we made over 50 pips. At the moment, he's still trying to move back up. So once you see price, this price is moving from this point or here, this should be our new entry point. Once you see price around this particular zone, let's turn it, let me increase it so that you know that this is entry point. Let's use green. So if you see price getting to around 0.8640 or 0.8650 around this point, we sell Euro GBP. NZD-CHF, very good. You can see that our trade finally it has started moving. We told you last time that this structure we see that price is to move at least 38.2, 50.0 and 61.8. At the moment, you see where price is. So the buyer still remains the same. It's still on the way up. The same thing with AUD CHF. Alright. Let me give you exit point for those that took the trade when we told you to take. So it have not touched 38.2. So if you are just seeing this video, you have missed the entry point, and look at the retest. Look at what the market did. This was our entry point, and it actually moved. It moved. Sorry. It moved. It moved to this point, and now look at the retest. It came down and did a retest, and again, sorry, my system is behaving small. All right, so again it's moving. So these are first targets. Our first target is 38.2 of Fibonacci retracement. We did a class last time on Fibonacci, on how to use Fibonacci to determine your entry point and exit points, all right, to book your profit. So 38.2 is our first target, and it's getting closer to that, and then 50.0 and 61.8. So I will leave it like this to see when it can take up to 1 month or more for it to get to 61.8. That's where trading patience come into play. Look at what I told you about GBP on weekly time frame, that there's a double top here. This is a supply zone. You can see it. There's some people call it supply and demand zone. Some call it different names. All right. So, but the most important thing is this structure played out as analyzed. Whether you're calling it support and resistance, whether you're calling it supply and demand zone, there's another name. There's another name also that some people use for this supply and demand zone. So whatever name you call it, for me is distribution, whether you call it distribution zone, all of them. But what we are saying is that for me is a key level that you need to take note of, and you make money once you identify a key level. So for me, it's a key level, and look at how many pips we've made for the past weeks. You've been selling GBAUD. I told you that it could get to 1,000 pips. Right now, 720 something, 740 pips already made from this movement. This is amazing. Please, I want to get your comment for those that took that trade. GBAUD, Euro AUD, GBNZD. Same thing with GBNZD. Look at GBNZD also. This is amazing. How many of us were patient to wait for this trade to give us? Remember, I told you 1,000 pips. Minimum of 500 pips to 1,000. This one also has given us almost 600 pips already. How many of us are patient to wait for that? All right. So this is what we are talking about. So there could be a retracement. Market could bounce from here. Then once I see it bounce from here, I should also still sell more, because I still see more shorts, more sell on the card for GBSZ, Euro AUD, Euro AUD, GBP AUD. It's same thing with Euro NZ. Look at it, Euro NZ, the same thing, same scenario. Alright, so we stop here. Alright, we stop here so far. I didn't analyze USD JPY, but let's leave that. The one we've analyzed is already okay for you to take your trade and make good profits. So let's look at fundamentals. I told you that this week there are a lot of red folders. Look at it. Today is holiday, bank holiday for JPY. All right, and then that's why market is very slow today. Anyway, today is Monday. Usually on Mondays, market usually is very slow. Sometimes, look at monetary policy meetings. As tomorrow morning for AUD. All right, CPI for card. You can see change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers. Actual aggressive and forecast is good for currency. I always like to use Forex Factory for my fundamentals, for the calendar, to look at the news we have within that week. The other place you can get news or calendar, you can see fundamental news. But I like to use Forex Factory. So just go through them, go to your browser, check Forex Factory, look at the red folders, look at interest rates, FOMC statements, and FOMC economic projection, fund rates, interest rate for dollar, and that is on Wednesday. And then same thing on Thursday for GBP, bank official rates on Thursday. So there are going to be some volatility this week. And then of course there's monetary BOJ. Let's see what will happen on Friday with Bank of Japan, the press conference, if they are going to do some intervention. Let's see whether JPY will be strong, and that's on Friday. So fundamentals has to do with when the news is out. You know exactly where the direction of the market. Nobody can, you can only forecast, but you can't really say the direction of the market until the news is out. So let's see what will happen come tomorrow, come this week, from tomorrow till Friday is loaded. So like I said, you can join our Telegram channel. Look at our Telegram channel, Dubiss Forex Academy. These are free Telegram channel, Dubiss Forex Academy. Subscribe to this channel, and then if you want to get entry points, you need to join us, our paid group. Just reach me out on Telegram at Dubiss1. So thank you very much for watching. Please ensure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, Dubiss Forex Academy, and follow us on all our social media handles, Dubiss Forex Academy, on all social media handles, Dubiss Forex Academy. Follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram, Facebook, Dubiss Forex Academy. Please ensure you register with our broker, FBS. And then on 30th, we'll be having a webinar for free. Just join our Telegram channel. You have the link to register for this great webinar happening live on 30th of September by 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and that is GMT +1. Yeah, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Cheers, guys.